This is my video review and demonstration of the mini cigarette by minicigarette.net. First of all, in the interest of full disclosure, I did not purchase this e-cigarette. It was given to me to try and, if I wanted to do a review. I simply can't afford to purchase every e-cigarette out there, and mini cigarettes especially are just not my favorite, so they're not going to get the bulk of my buying dollars. So donations like that are the only way some of them are going to get reviewed. That said, I think that my reviewing system is impartial and objective enough that I shouldn't be injecting any bias into it just because I was given a review copy. Speaking of my review system, let me go over that again for those who haven't seen my previous reviews. I rate the e-cigarettes in 4 major areas, each one rated on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being poor, or I'm sorry, 1 being unacceptable, 2 being poor or below average, 3 being average or acceptable, 4 being above average or excellent, and 5 being outstanding. And that noise is my bird mic. Please forgive him. Those 4 areas that I review, that I rate, are atomizer performance, which is composed of 2 parts: the smoke volume and the ease of draw. Battery performance, which is composed of 2 parts: the switch performance and the battery life. Third, I rated on the overall reliability and performance. And fourth, I rated on the appearance and build quality. The mini cigarette, in particular gets an average rating of 3.6, actually 3.625, but I round it down. It is, as you can see, a super mini style. It is 100 millimeters tip to tip. It is a DSE 103 model. You can see, you can tell that model because the arch of the atomizer projects above the barrel, as opposed to the DSE 101, 102, or the RN 4081. The mouthpiece and cartridge are separate, but they snap together. The cartridge comes out fairly easily on this one. Some of the similar models are a little bit harder. You can just pop the cartridge out there for easy refilling. It runs $59.95 from minicigarette.net. It's fairly a generic cigarette, however. I've seen the same or similar models sold through generic resellers on the eBay stores and whatnot. In fact, my first one, a DSE 101 model, had the same identical battery type. Well, same identical appearing battery, as I found out it was not interchangeable. That was kind of a poor one, but in general, I give the atomizer performance a 3.75. The smoke, I give it a 3.5 for smoke volume. It's actually better, above average overall, and that's really much farther above average than I would have expected for a mini. Most minis in my experience are about a 2, maybe a 3 in smoke volume on a scale of 1 to 5. So this one to be a 3.5, that's really much higher than I expect most minis to score. The draw is nice and light. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's not as easy as sipping water through a straw, but it's not as hard as sipping a blended drink. So a 4. The battery performance. The battery lifespan is about 80 puffs or so. You can push it farther. I have actually gotten as high as 100, but after about an 80, the smoke volume diminishes way too much. It's less than a 2 at that point. So I'd say about 80 to 90 puffs max, which would be about a 3.5 on my 5-point scale. The switch performance is pretty good overall. There's no real delay in the activation. I should say there's no significant delay. It's fairly less than a second or so, and it comes in. At least, except for that, about 1 in 4, I'd say, about 1 in 4 draws, it simply fails like that. And then you have to give the sharp puff to kind of free the switch. After that, it's back to normal performance. Like I say, that's about 1 in 4 draws or so. So I'd give it about a 4 on the switch performance. I'll take off 1 point for that slight unreliability. So that gives a battery performance average of 3.75, matching the atomizer performance average. The overall reliability and performance is pretty good. I'd give it about a 4. As I say, the switch can be a little slow, and occasionally a draw just completely fails. That's partly maybe battery, partly maybe atomizer. It comes out of the overall reliability score, dropping that to a 4. On appearance, 3 average or acceptable. That's really about all I can go on this. I mean, it is. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no flaws in the finish. It connects together straight. There's no obvious design or build flaws. And I rather actually kind of like the two-tone LED, red for when it's activated and green when it's reached the cutoff point. But there's no, as far as a cigarette-looking design, it's kind of has the worst of both worlds instead of the best of both worlds. It's got the cigarette color scheme, but with the glossy enameled appearance and those vertical lines, it doesn't really look anything like a cigarette, so it looks at best like a fake cigarette. So the best I can really give it is a 3, and there's no variety to choose from the seller, so a 3. Overall, again, average, that average rating averages out to 3.625, rounded down to 3.6. May not sound that good, but for a Mini, that really is higher than I expected to rate them. So, overall, 3.6. It's only $60, so it's certainly a good option for a first e-cigarette to try it out. It's a good option for a backup cigarette. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, at the price, I would definitely have to recommend it. So, in conclusion, compared to other minis like the 101B, or the Kiss Box Gentle, the mini cigarette from minicigarette.net does pretty well. So, thanks for your time and attention. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Minicigarette.net, $59.95, rates of 3.6.